Namaskar learners. I, Harpreet Kaur, welcome you all on behalf of National Institute of Open Schooling. As you all know that we keep on bringing for you our audio and video programs. And today, in the series of our video program, we have brought a very interesting topic for you. It is related to marketing only. Last time we discussed with you the concept of marketing, its functions, objectives, marketing mix and whatnot. But marketing is a very vast concept and it includes a lot of things. One such thing is product. It refers to the goods and services offered by the organization to the ultimate consumer or customer, whosoever buys it. But products are classified on different bases. What those bases are, what all they involve, we will discuss it all in this video program today. We will also talk about product classification, pricing, factors affecting pricing decisions, channels of distribution, and much more. This program will cover another important concept under the umbrella marketing only. The topic is, of course, product classification. And for this discussion, we have invited in the studio our expert, Mr. S.S. Sehrawat,
Namaskar.
Who is former Deputy Commissioner from Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, along with Dr. Piyush Prasad, Academic Officer at Business Studies, NIOS. And you all are ready to take down the important points because this is a very important concept from your examination point of view. So let's start today's discussion on product classification. So my first question is for you. Before we come to the product classification, please give us a definition of product. What exactly a product is?
You know, product is an item which has physical as well as non-physical attributes. Physical attributes are like its measurement, its weight, its length, breadth and so on. As far as non-physical attributes are concerned, these include brand of the product, the packaging, the purpose for which it is being used and so on. So a product is an item which is offered by the marketeer to the consumers for their satisfaction.
So we can say that a product is not just a good or a service but also an idea?
Yeah, product may be an idea also.
Okay. And they are classified on different bases. Piyush sir, I would like to know from you what all these bases of classification are.
First of all, I would like to add on in the product itself is basically the bundle of benefits which a producer is providing to the consumer and a consumer is ready to pay a price for it. Now, as far as the classification is concerned, we classify the products on different bases. First of all, on the basis of usage, we can say. There are certain type of products which are called as the consumer usable products and the other are known as the industrial products. Consumer usable products are those which are basically consumed by the consumers directly. Say for example, bread or a butter or matchbox, something like that, we directly go to market and consume it.
That's right.
As far as the industrial goods are concerned, they are raw materials which are used for the further production of other goods and services. They are used in industries as a raw material. So they are lubricants, greases, and different type of raw materials comes under this category. Secondly, we classify them on the basis of their durability. Some products you found as are durable goods and some of them are non-durable. Which means durable goods are those which can be consumed by you for a regular period of time, can be preserved by you. Suppose you have got a car, you have got a fridge, you have got a LCD, something like that. Once we purchase it, we consume it for another 4-5 years.
That's right.
Until unless some new technology came to the market or we found it not used for us, it's obsolete and we should go for another product. So they are basically the durable one. On the other hand, there are certain products which are not durable, which are perishable in nature, which we are going to consume immediately the moment we purchase them from the market. Third, we classify them on the basis of their tangibility. Further, there is two classification as tangible and intangible. So tangible goods are those which we can see, which we can touch, which we can feel. Lot many examples are there, as I have given itself, like a fridge or a TV or a car or a computer, they are tangible. On the other hand, intangible goods are concerned, services are concerned, they are going to have the different benefit to the different persons. Say for example, a case of a movie. both of us watches the movie, I found it very interesting, you found it very boring.
That's right.
So same type of goods, same services are provided,
Yes.
but the usage is going to be different for a different purpose.
Right.
So there can be a broad classification on the basis of which the goods and services could be classified.
We have already discussed with you the classification. Goods are classified on basis of their usage, durability and tangibility.
Right.
And now comes another important aspect of product classification only that I would like to ask you, sir. Product mix. I make out that it is a mix of something. What exactly is a mixture of?
In the case of marketing mix, there are many items which are included in the marketing mix.
That's right.
In marketing mix, we include the product mix, place mix, promotion mix, price mix. The 4 elements of marketing mix.
And you mean to say that product mix comes under the umbrella of marketing
mix.
Okay.
And in the case of product, now take for example, you have an idea to sell or to market soft drink. What type of soft drinks you are going to produce, that is who will be your target customers. Once target customers are decided, then only we decide other aspects of this product mix. What type of packaging will be used, what will be the size of the package, what will be the quantity of the item, of the product. So all these ideas have to be taken into consideration at the time of deciding the product mix.
Okay. Sir has already discussed a lot about product mix, but I'm sure there is some addition to it. Sir, would you like to do something about it?
As far as the product mix is concerned, anything which is related to a product is going to come under this category.
Okay.
Suppose, for example, we are going to take up branding. Sir has already told that you are manufacturing a product, but we would like to give a brand name, an image, so that it could be easily identified in a market. So that is going to be a part of the product mix. Now, once the product is going to be manufactured, how it is going to be supplied to the ultimate consumer? We have to put it into a specific package. Now, as far as the packing is concerned, it's basically a kind of container so that it may be easy to handle the product, it may be easy to transport the product from one place to the another product. So this packing itself is going to have the different categories. Primary packing, secondary packing, then there is a transportation packing. For example, first of all, we are going to have a primary packing of a product. That is a basic packing which is going to cover the product and is going to give a shape or size. So this is the primary packing. Then there is a secondary packing which is going to provide you some more information, like what is going to be the manufacturer, who is going to be the manufacturer, what will be the date of manufacturing, expiry date, prices, contents, each and everything. So that is another packing, and it is normally not used by any of the consumer, but to give another kind of protection layer to that package. Side by side, it is going to be discarded off the moment we start using the product.
Okay.
Then there could be another third level of packing where cold drink bottles are going to come in a plastic packet or in a corrugated box in which 10-12 bottles are there. So that is basically the transportation packing, which is going to be used by the wholesalers or manufacturers in transferring their product from one place to the another. So that is a part of the packing. Labeling, as I have already told and you also discussed about the thing. As a consumer, they are interested in knowing the various type of things regarding the product, like whether it's going to be a vegetarian product or a non-vegetarian product.
Correct.
So a label is going to give a specific kind of sign or a symbol by which you can easily recognize.
That's right.
Side by side, the labeling is also going to work as a silent salesman. We are just attracted towards the package or towards the thing because of the attractive labeling.
Yes.
So whenever you want, suppose if I approach you to a market to buy a shirt, first of all, I would like to see a label ki whether it's a branded one or not. Then I refer the prices. If it is within my reach, I approach it further. I would like to inquire the different things. If I found no, it is not in my reach, it's very costly, I drop it there and only. So that label is going to help me identify whether this shirt is going to be suitable for me within my range or not.
Yes.
So labeling is going to provide the different type of informations regarding the package.
Okay.
So we can have branding, we can have packaging, we can have labeling, and as sir has told you, many things are going to come under this product mix. Anything which is related to a product is going to come under the category of the product mix.
So anything that is related to product comes under the category of product mix. take a note of it. It's very important. And now we come to another important point, which is, of course, the money, the prices. How the prices are determined and what factors affect these pricing decisions? That's a very important question. And of course, it affects your pockets and our pockets as well. So, sir, I would like to start with you about this concept, how the prices are determined.
You know, first of all, we must understand what is the price. Price is the amount of money at which the product is offered by the marketeer to the consumer, the buyer. There are many theories, there are many bases on the basis of which the price of the products are fixed. There is a factor which has to be taken into consideration, or which becomes the basis of pricing. Competition. You have large number of competitors or you have less competitors, you are working in a perfect competition market situation, or you are working in a monopolistic or a situation between perfect competition and market monopoly. Then in that case, you have to fix a price which is prevalent in the market and which is just equal to the price of by the competitors. Whether you are introducing the product for the first time, you want to capture a share in the market, you want to survive in the market, you want to increase the sales, what is your marketing objective? On the basis of that also the price of the product is decided. Then another important basis is the demand of the product. In economics, we study that more the demand, higher will be the price, and less the demand, lesser will be the price. That is a natural law of demand. Now, in cases where demand is more, you can fix a slightly higher price.
Okay.
If the demand is less, then you may have to fix a lower price. Then besides this, what are the government regulations? In certain cases, government puts certain restrictions on the price of the products. And then in that case, you cannot fix a price more than the price which has been fixed by the government.
That's right.
So these are many factors, many aspects which influence pricing decisions of a product.
Okay, and as sir has already mentioned what all factors are there which affect pricing decisions, but sir, I can make out that you cannot, consider things as constant, because everything is so dynamic, things keep on changing. Right. Government policies keep on changing, competition is increasing. So other than these points, is there anything else that one should keep in mind?
Mostly sir has covered all the points under this, but then also there are various factors which are to be taken care of in deciding the prices of the products.
Okay.
Like government policies are going to be there. Yes. So whenever the prices are going to be fixed, the producer know well in advance. Say the budget itself, the government is going to decide regarding the taxes, regarding the duties.
Right.
So it's not like that the government every now and then keep on changing their policy. So once in a year, the government have to take a decision. Same is the case with the businessmen. They take certain kind of decisions.
Yes.
They also cannot make the changes. Then side by side, the services that are going to be provided by the businessmen to the consumers are also to be taken care of. In certain cases, they are providing a free home delivery. No one is going to pay it from their own pocket.
Yes.
They are going to provide you the delivery. It's for a name free of cost of free home, but they are going to pay for it.
That's right.
So that is going to be taken care of. In case if they are providing the packing of a product, so they are going to charge for it. If they provide you the after sale service, say for example, in a case of automobiles like a car or a scooter or motorcycle, they say that once you purchase, we will provide you 3 free services. So 3 free services cost is included in the cost of the package.
Yes.
If a product is there for which a guarantee is given, say for 10 years or something like that, most of the chimneys lifetime warranty. It means whenever there is a problem, they are going to get it repaired. Yes. So they just add on the cost to it when you simply buy it. In case if any repair or renewals is required, they will make the changes from their own pocket. So all these benefits, some of the businessmen provide you the credit facility. Okay, you take the goods, pay it after a month. Who is going to bear that cost? Similarly, it's going to be borne by us. Yes. So they keep on adding that cost into the cost of the product. And lot many things are there, which they are going to take care when the product is going to be sold to the ultimate consumer. And finally, it also depends upon the paying capacity of the consumer. If a producer knows that this is the product of his need, he is going to buy by whatever the cost it may be, whatever the price it may be, they can charge higher prices for it. On the other hand, if they found no, consumer can shift on to some another product. Say for example, if we want to watch one movie and say for example the tickets are not available, we can go on another movie, no problem. We have to watch. We just want an entertainment.
Yes.
So this shifting of producer or consumer from one to another is also going to affect the prices.
Yes. So after knowing these pricing decisions and what factors affect the prices, we have come to know ultimately that there is nothing like free lunch. You have to pay for each and everything, each and every service that you buy or purchase. And now another important concept. Once the good is manufactured, it has to reach the ultimate consumer or the customer. There is a pathway to it. It has to reach safely on time. So we call them channels of distribution. Yes, what all channels a producer or a manufacturer uses. We will talk about it along with the functions. So let's start with you. Please explain what exactly we mean by the channels of distribution.
Actually, it is one of the elements of marketing mix.
Okay.
And it is called as place mix. That is how the goods will reach from the place of production to the place of consumption.
Okay.
So what it is the path traveled by the goods or services in reaching from the place of production to the place of consumption is channel of distribution.
Okay.
Now basically there are two types of channels of distribution: direct channel of distribution and indirect channel of distribution. The manufacturer directly supplies the goods to the consumers. Maybe in the case of perishable goods, in the case of goods which cannot be stored, which have to be consumed immediately after production, take the case of electricity. For example, coal. Coal may be supplied by the mining agencies directly to the plants. You may not require any channel, any other person or any other middleman for the distribution of the goods. So in the case of direct channel, the goods are supplied directly from the producer to the ultimate consumers.
Okay.
Direct channel of distribution is also termed as zero level channel of distribution. That is, you don't have any middleman. There is no other link between the producer and the consumer. The goods or services are directly transferred from the producer to the consumers.
Okay.
There are categories to it. Comes in the case of indirect channels of distribution. Whenever a link comes into this channel, then it becomes an indirect channel of distribution. More the number of links in the channel of distribution, more will be the price of the products. Reason being that everyone would like a pie in it, in the price.
That's
and
right.
That's why the price goes on increasing as the number of channels of distribution increase.
And when you talk about links, we mean to say middleman, wholesaler, retailer, etc., etc.
Wholesalers, retailers, or some mercantile agents, brokers, etc. Who work as agents and transfer the goods either on behalf of the producer or on their own behalf to the consumers.
And sir, I would like to know from you, what are the factors affecting these channels of distribution, the decision which channel is to be used?
Sure. Now, before I tell you regarding the factors of their selection, one of the main things is whether we are basically in need of these channels or not.
Yes.
They are going to provide lot many services. As sir has directly told you right now, their direct channel is going to be there from manufacturer to the ultimate consumer. The goods could be there. And there could be indirect channels. There could be the middlemen in form of the wholesalers, in form of the retailers, or in case of mercantile agents are there. They used to provide lot many services. Like for example, selection of the goods is going to be done. If you want to go to buy something from the market, you need a salesman who can assist you. You cannot expect the manufacturer can directly supply you the goods. You want some assistance in your selection. The credit facility which we have talked about right now, regarding that the goods are taken right now and the payment will be made later on, this credit will be provided to you by the retailer only, not by any manufacturer. The time at which you want to buy the product is also going to be a benefit which is provided by the retailer. Suppose at 7 o'clock in the morning, I forget about my shaving razor. So I asked my son, go to the market and got one blade for me.
Yes.
That 7 o'clock, you cannot approach to a company to get an order or place an order, please send a packet of a blade for my father. He'll approach to a retailer, and so retailer provide you that kind of facility.
Yes.
Inspection, credit, time, all these facilities and help you in selection. Side by side, they are going to take all kind of risks which are involved with the product itself.
Yes.
In case if they are not going to be sold in the market, they are going to be returned back to the manufacturer.
That's right.
So we are in need of these middlemen very much. In case if our consumers are at one place only and their purchasing power is quite high, goods are heavy, they are bulky, we can directly supply them. There is no need of any kind of middleman. For example, there is a construction of a bridge.
Okay.
And that construction of a bridge needs lot many quantity of a cement and iron and steel. In this case, they will directly contact to the company, and company will supply the product to them directly, as cement or as steel, whatever it may be. No need of middleman. Loading and unloading is required.
Yes.
Secondly, if our consumers are scattered throughout the country and there is a need, we want that consumers have to be explained regarding a product. Suppose if you want to buy a smart TV or a smartphone, you want that features or functions of those should be explained to you by that salesman or a retailer.
Yes, yes.
Then in this case, we need some middleman who can guide you regarding that product. Side by side, they are also going to provide lot many information regarding the competition which is prevailing in the market, the likes and dislikes of the consumers, their paying capacity, the problem which are going to be faced by the consumers related to the product. So these things are to be taken care of whenever we have to decide the channels, whether our channel should be a direct one or an indirect one. And together with that, there are certain middlemen which are going to have a very good financial capacity. They provide the advance to the company, manufacturer, and provide the credit to the consumer. So if the company want to avail these kind of benefits, they have to take the care of the middlemen. So while selecting the channel, whether it should be a direct or indirect, all these factors are to be taken care of by the company.
Today, in our topic, product classification, we discussed everything, right from product mix to factors affecting pricing decisions. I'm sure now you are a well-informed consumer and intelligent learner. If you have any query, you can definitely contact us, and the address is. You can also listen to our audio programs which are available on the website of NIOS. We have our web radio in the name of Mukt Vidyavani for you. So for this today's discussion, I would like to extend my thank to our expert, Mr. S.S. Sehrawat, former Deputy Commissioner from Kendriya Vidyalaya Sangathan, and Dr. Piyush Prasad, Academic Officer, Business Studies, NIOS. We wish you all the very best. Be a successful learner, and we'll be right back for more education for you. Namaskar.
ये है कूल लाइफ, नो फिकर नो टेंशन। एक हम है कंगले।
पर यार एक्सीडेंट हो गया तो?
तू भी जनानियों की तरह उधेड़-बुन में लगा रहता है। जिंदगी एक ही बार मिलती है, एंजॉय। अब कहाँ चल दिया?
मेरी इकोनॉमिक्स की क्लास है।
अबे तेरे बिना वहाँ क्या कमी रह जाएगी?
मैं ये चैप्टर नहीं समझ पाऊंगा।
जा,
बाय।
और बगला भगत। यार तू तो रहेगा हमेशा कुएं का मेढक, लेकिन भैया हम तो दुनिया में फुल ऐश करेंगे।
यार तू समझता क्यों नहीं यार?
क्या अक्ल मुझे भी है, मुझे पता है कि हमें नौकरियां करनी होंगी। आज तक जिंदगी पढ़ते पढ़ते गुजर गई, 2 साल बाद सर पे नौकरी की तलवार टंगी होगी और हम कौन सा लाट कलेक्टर बन जाएंगे, बस गुजारे लायक तनख्वाह होगी। इस दुनिया में इतनी मौज है, मस्ती है, ऐश है, उसमें हमारा हिस्सा कहाँ है? क्या
ले बेटा खा।
चाची जी आप सुबह से रात तक काम करती हैं, थक नहीं जाती?
हाँ, थक तो जाती हूँ बेटा, पर क्या करूँ, अब तो सुरेंद्र की बहू ही आकर के आराम देगी।
बहू क्या ऐसे ही आ जाती है? खर्चा करना पड़ता है, बहुओं को कुछ देना भी पड़ता है।
अरे मेरी बहू आए तो सही, मैं उसे सोने की चूड़ियां पहनाऊंगी, सोने की। हाँ, अरे मोबाइल क्या देख रहा है? तुझे क्या मालूम, मैंने एक एक पैसा जोड़ जोड़ कर अपनी बहू के लिए सोने की चूड़ियां बनवाई हैं। मनीष बेटा, ये तेरा दोस्त है, इस तरह इसका ध्यान रख। स्कूल तो इसने तेरे साथ पार कर ही लिया है। ले ले, सागौन ले ले।
नहीं नहीं।
क्यों? अरे ले भी ले।
अबे यार, वहाँ हमारे ग्रुप का क्रेडिट कार्ड चलता है।
क्रेडिट को हिंदी में कर्ज कहते हैं।
तुझे नहीं पता, मेरा ग्रुप बहुत दिलदार है। 100 के नोट तो वो कुछ समझते ही नहीं।
जिस दिन तुझे उन्हें दावत देनी पड़ेगी तब क्या करेगा? वो तुझे फ्री में देकर आदत बिगाड़ रहे हैं।
मर्द बच्चा हूं मैं, तो बस जरा मस्ती के लिए, आदत वादत में नहीं डालूंगा। जब चाहे यूं छोड़ दूंगा।
तो अभी छोड़ दे।
क्या हुआ? मना कर गया। मैं तो पहले ही कह रहा था, गोली मारो उसे। इसकी भेजे में बात नहीं आएगी, इसकी किस्मत में खुश रहना नहीं लिखा है।
चाची जी, सब्र कीजिए, सब ठीक हो जाएगा।
अरे कैसे सब्र करूं बेटे, कितनी मुश्किल से अकेली ने मैंने ये बेटा पाला है, और ये बेटा मुझे ये रंग दिखा रहा है। अरे मैं तो किसी से कह भी नहीं सकती। न जाने कैसे कैसे पैसे जुटा के मैंने इसकी बहू के लिए चूड़ियां बनवाई थी।
बहू के लिए बनवाई थी ना, बेटे ने ले ली तो क्या आफत आ गई?
अरे नाश पीटे, अरे तो चला जा, एक तो चोरी, ऊपर से सीना चोरी।
मुझे अपने घर में बाहरी लोगों का दखल पसंद नहीं। आप जाओ।
अरे अरे आओ सत्यानाशी, चुप हो जा। मनीष, मनीष बेटे, तो इसकी बातों का बुरा मत मानना।
चाची जी,
बहुत बुरा किया तूने, तूने बहुत बुरा किया। डॉक्टर साहब, मेरे बच्चों को बचा लीजिए।
आप थोड़ा सब्र रखिए, चिंता ना करिए, हम अपनी तरफ से पूरी कोशिश करेंगे। सुरेंद्र, हम आपको 15 दिन के लिए इस सेंटर पे रखेंगे। दवाइयों एवं बातचीत द्वारा हम आपका इलाज करेंगे, पर एक बात का ध्यान रखना होगा, दवाइयों से इस आदत से छुटकारा नहीं मिल सकता। इसके लिए आपको अपना आत्मविश्वास बढ़ाना होगा, और अगर इस आदत को छोड़ने की तुम मन में ठान लो तो दुनिया की कोई ताकत आपको रोक नहीं सकती। इस बात को हमेशा ध्यान रखना।